Welcome to Tarot and the Moons. Hi, my name is Ingrid, and in this video I'm offering new moon or full moon tarot readings. These are based on your moon's astrological sign. These offerings are intended to assist us in affirming the experiences that we want to manifest through our intentions or through our desired transformations as guided by the current moon's energy. Enjoy. Hey everyone, it's me Ingrid. Before I went into doing the readings themselves, I wanted to share a little bit of some housekeeping pointers and also share with you why I am doing these offerings. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you is that these readings are new moon and full moon readings that I'll be offering. And yes, I will be doing the eclipses as well because those involve the moon. And these tarot readings are going to be based solely on your astrological moon placement sign. I'm not dealing with the house systems. I'm not dealing with your sun sign, except when we're doing the eclipses. And I'm not going to be dealing with your ascendant. These are only for your moon. So when I'm doing the readings, you want to pay attention to your moon sign only. Now, some people follow Western tropical astrology, other people follow Vedic sidereal astrology. You can use either of those and whatever moon sign you associate with. Personally, when I'm doing these, I'm going to be paying attention to both the Vedic sidereal moon sign and my Western tropical moon sign because I feel that I'm going to get a lot of information. The Western I see as a big picture engagement, and the Vedic sidereal I see as specifics. That's how I interpret them. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but these readings are designed solely for moon sign readings. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to just add that all of these offerings, and I will be doing this the entire year, they come with a downloadable journal entry PDF. So you want to make sure to look at the link below the video and download your PDF. There's going to be two PDFs in every video. One will be a downloadable informational PDF, which is general. And the other one will be specific to the video. Okay? So that's the second housekeeping matter. And the third housekeeping matter that I wanted to share with you is that I will be uploading these videos either the day before, the day of, or the day after either a new moon or a full moon. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I really feel that the present flow is where the potent energy is. The here and now is always where the magical experiences happened. And that's where you're going to get the most out of this particular experience that I'm offering. Sometimes you'll see people offering new moon readings, etc., like 2 or 3 weeks before the new moon or before the full moon. I've seen videos talking about full moons that are, happening next month. And I never quite understood that. First of all, that immediately takes you out of the present moment. So it's going to be hard to experience the magic when it's so far out. But second of all, for me anyway, it's really important to just be in flow with the moon in particular. And this particular video, I'm launching it on the 12th, which is not January 11, where, well, for some places in the world, actually, this is the new moon evening. Um, but I wanted it on the 12th because every single planet is going direct today. So I personally thought it was a great opportunity to actually launch Tarot and the moons. Um, so that's it. Those are my housekeeping offerings, tidbits that I had to share with you. And now I want to talk a little bit, before we do the readings, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. As some of you know, or you may not know, I've had a bitch of a couple of years. I am exhausted. I'm tired. Um, I have, I don't know how many projects in the works that I need to get to, but this came in sort of like in a dream. And like I said, I wasn't going to do any offerings, but I was shopping around a bookstore and I saw this calendar, and I'm going to show you the calendar when I put the video on for the reading. But I saw this lovely calendar and it got me thinking about, all of a sudden, about my grandfather. And I had this dream about my grandfather and the moon. And my grandfather was a farmer, and he always followed the moon cycle to attend to his land. And I remember how important the moon was for him, because those night skies, boy, and that night cycle, they really spoke to him, and they really helped him plan ahead to be able to feed and support his family from the land. And he would always speak to me in Spanish, of course, uh, um, but he'd always say, "La luna habla," and that translates into "the moon speaks." And he'd always say that. And I woke up from that just being like, wow, yeah, I wish I had that kind of connection with the moon, which I don't. I've wanted to, but I don't. And when I woke up from that, I started to think about my mom. And that's his daughter, right? And I started to think about how incredibly invigorating this woman felt whenever there was a full moon. Um, and she just felt energized. And she'd call, if I was in my home and she was in her home, and she lived around nature, I live in the city, and she'd always call me and she'd be like, "Have you seen the new moon out?" And I'm always like, no, I see skyscrapers. Um, but but this is the moon is some sort of a really serious connection that I have not been able to tap into, and it's something that's calling me, which is why I'm doing this. And like I said, I've never had a connection like they had with the moon, but I do have a lot of friends that follow the night's brilliance, and I've done readings before with the moon, and I've tried to do these intention things and stuff. And I think I did the same as what other offerings have been like, which is, you know, put these offerings out a week or even a month ahead of time. And so I would do them, but I remember doing them not in sync with the actual cycles of the moon. So although I've attempted in the past to really connect to these moon cycles, I've just fallen flat on my face. And maybe it's because, like I said before, I live in an urban area, and just city dwellers we barely look up to the sky, because all we're going to see is skyscrapers, right? We're not even going to see a flicker of stars out there in the cosmos, right? So maybe that's my inability to really sink in and connect. But I really do feel it's important for me to pay attention to the moon this year. And there's something incredible about the moon that I need to start exploring at a deeper level for myself, especially in connection with my ancestors and my mom. And I realized that I need to explore the moon in the only way I know how to explore things, which is through the lens of tarot. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not big on creating content for content's sake. I don't do stuff like that. It irritates me. If I put something out there, it's because I'm feeling it at that moment. So I'm not putting this content on YouTube to get clicks or clickbait or followers or likes. It's nice to have it. That's not why I'm doing it. Um, I literally have no time, but I'm definitely interested in having an authentic experience and an authentic relationship with where we're all going, and to benefit from the willingness and the opportunity to really expand our field with joy and happiness. And it's not, you know, it's not, I'm not saying joy and happiness to sort of do a spiritual bypass, right? Or to ignore what's going on. I've worked through my challenges, and I'm still working through challenges and aspects of who I am, because I know who I am and I know that I can always be better. And I really do thank this exploratory tool of Tarot. I'm sharing this desire for all of us to expand our joy and happiness because I found that it is an unalienable right, as it's referenced in the United States Declaration of Independence. Happiness is our natural, God given right. And I've experienced during all of these decades that despite the rise in the awakening of the New Age era and in people feeling woke and in this whole spiritual, you know, segment of the world and all the quote unquote healing being done, I've I really have experienced that we seem to be less and less happy in society. And that's not just because of 2020. This has been happening before 2020, where people have not been living in their joy, myself included, have not been living in adventures, have not been living in travels, have not been living in happiness. There's this constant thing of healing, 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 and it's like we're not in the space of happiness. And for me, there's something here with the moon that can provide that for us. The two happiest people that I've ever met in my entire life have been my grandfather and my mother. These people, when they laughed gregariously, right? With, like, you could feel their laughter was contagious, and their joy was contagious. And when I look back at all of my ancestors, these two, my grandmother and my mom, were always the ones smiling despite the craziness. I mean, their sense of humor was off the scale. My grandmother was a different story. She'd look at them like, this isn't funny, that kind of energy. But my grandfather and my mom, whoa, these people, they had a good time living. And I want to tap into that. And one of the things that I realized with the purchase of this calendar, the dream, and me thinking about this is that they both loved the moon. My grandfather loved that new moon energy, right when she's like, that light source is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then my mom, boom, she loved the full moon. There's a misguided perception, right, that because of her darkness, that the moon is to be feared. And I really, that's a narrative that needs to be changed, because it simply is not the case. And this happens because people are, the rising tides, etc. Well, you know what that is? That's the rising of the emotions. And that's what I want to tap into. And that's what I would love for you to focus on when we're doing these readings, to really focus on your moon sign. Because the moon is the space in which we become familiar with who we are. If we don't know how our emotions move through the world, we will not know how to manifest. I'm going to repeat that. If you do not know how your emotions moves in and out of this world, you will not manifest what you most desire, because emotions is what fuels the field of manifestation. It really, truly is. So for me, the moon is an entity, and she's an entity that I feel I need to become more familiar with and that I need to embrace, because there is something in her that somehow holds the key for joy and happiness. And I'm just getting that it's a strong, I've never felt this before with the moon, but it's a strong energy, and I want to share my journey with you. This is why, as we move through the years, this is going to be like a little course. It's free, it's online, and it's YouTube. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to share my experiences with you. And my aim with all of this offering is to discover through actual experience, what is the key? What is the key to that joy and happiness? And I really want to bring you along with the ride, because as I am my intention for 2024 is to be tapping into joy and happiness and laughter as much as possible. And I want you along with the ride, because the more laughter, the more joy, the more peace. So please enjoy these offerings, and I really hope we get to experience our intentions through these elevated and joyful emotions that hopefully and eventually will in fact help us manifest with happiness, so that not only our personal surroundings are reclaimed with the essence of what is our natural right to be happy, but also our environment around us by virtue of osmosis, right? Because we have tapped into it, then our environment around us will also tap into and reclaim the essence of this natural right to be happy. It's a natural right. Unalienable means no one can take that away. However, if we let it, we can forget what is naturally gifted to us. And that's it. That's my spiel before we get into the reading. And I want to already thank all of the moons in 2024 for being that source of nature for me, for allowing me to explore my right to live free in pursuit of happiness, as stated in the United States Declaration of Independence. And yeah, let's do this. Let's reclaim our truth. All right, now I'm going to put the video on and we're going to play. All right, everyone, let's do this. So first things first, I should have organized this. I'm going to eventually do an overhead, I guess, camera shot so you guys can see the wheel. But this isn't about the houses. It's really about the astrological signs. But this is the calendar that I was telling you guys that I purchased, and it reminded me of my grandfather. And something about this circular motion of the moons really called to me, and that's, you know, this is the calendar I was just talking about. Yeah, so that's that. And I just wanted to talk a little bit, and don't forget guys, on the link below you're going to have a free PDF download for just the general introduction of this whole entire program for the year, and then specifically for this particular new moon, which is the new moon in Capricorn. So let me get these. I think you can see my pens. Throw those back there. And so I just wanted to briefly talk about what are the cards that are playing with us. I'm just going to move my chair a little bit. And so let's talk about the moon just very briefly, because I don't want to make this video too long. I really want to just do the reading, and then you guys figure out how you're going to play with that. You can always get your own journal to write more if the space provided isn't sufficient. So here we have the moon, and the moon is dominated by the Neptunian energies, which is all about seeing. So the moon allows us to see in the darkness, and oftentimes when the moon comes out, people are more sort of like in fear of it, because you see this like crab coming out of the waters, the dog or the wolves, depends on who you're following, they're howling at the moon. And so it gives these people the sense of lunacy, right? It's about it gives people anxiety, etc. But there's a, that's not the aspect that we're trying to focus on. We're really trying to tap into the intuitive side of the moon in order to tap into our emotions. When we tap into our emotions, especially dancing with the cycles of the moon, we're going to be able to manifest in the space of gratitude, right? So the moon is about intuition. It is about chopping through any illusions, really, because whatever is hidden is going to come out with the moon energy. And this isn't necessarily using this card to do a reading. This is to really present the types of behaviors that we're wanting to tap into, and to be able to see. We're really using that Neptunian energy of being able to see, of being able to use the third eye engagement here. All right, so that's always going to be in the mix, right? So for the new moon in Capricorn, however, we have two major arcana cards at play. One is the Devil, and the other one is the World. Now, why do I say that? Because these two cards are ruled by Saturn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So these are the cards that are kind of like overlaying our readings here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about these cards because, again, people fear this Devil card, and they fear getting the Victory card, the World card in reverse, etc. First of all, get rid of the fear. It's not necessary, because I'm planning to have fun and joy. I don't know about you, but what the Devil archetype is really here to, let's see if I can keep it in the frame here. The Devil archetype, sometimes it can be about addictions, mental health issues, ego, secrecy, etc. But it's also about freedom, right? Those shackles, it's about freedom. It's about releasing oneself from this idea of feeling powerless and hopeless. So for us, this is going to be this energy of letting go. And then we have here the Victory card, which is the World card, the 21st card of the deck, which is also the last card in the major arcana. And this is about success, achievement, accomplishments, expanding our horizons, etc. So when we're doing the readings, I'm going to use my own intuition and see where this lands for everyone. Now, again, we're doing moon readings, so only look at your moon astrological sign when we're doing this, and I gave you little snippets in the handout, sort of like a cheat sheet of the general ideas or feeling nature of the moons in all of these signs. Feel free to use either Western tropical or Vedic or the Vedic sidereal moon signs. I'm going to use both. I am going to use both. You can use both of those. For me, the Western tropical is more like a bird's eye view of things, so it's more general, it's more big picture. And the Vedic sidereal moon for me is going to be me getting into the nitty-gritty and specifics of things. So as it comes around, I'll tell you which ones are my moons, so just not to confuse. Lastly, I just wanted to share, this deck is the Rider Tarot deck. This is a 1971 edition, which is the year that I was born. And in the pack, I love how they tell us what the other names and renditions of this particular card deck is. 1971, Pamela Coleman Smith was not even recognized as the artist of these images. So we don't even see it there. So I thought that was a cute little thing to share with you all. But we're not going to use these cards to do our readings. I'm going to, if I can maneuver this without messing up the table here or moving this too much, we're going to use my new obsession. Oh no, the calendar's going to fall. Which is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. So we're going to use her deck in doing the readings. And this video is going to be extra long only because it's the introduction to this engagement. And we're going to use the deck that I designed, which is this deck, the Arc-en-Ciel Tarot deck. So everyone's going to get 2 cards. I think in the future I'm going to shuffle them before the recording just to save some time. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with Aries and then go around the wheel. And the inquiry here is for guidance on this new moon journey. What is the new moon? It's a perfect time to set intention, and this journey is going to be from the 11th all the way to whenever the full moon is. Now let me look at the burgundy color. I believe the full moon is on, I can't even see, and I have my glasses on, the 25th. Yes, the 25th of January. So from now until the 25th of January, this is your reading, and use this to help you sort of engage with, you know what I'll do? I'll shuffle it for everyone, and that way I can just flip them as we go instead of shuffling it for each sign. It's going to take too long, and it's already almost 10 minutes in. All right. So the cards are just going to give us guidance as to what's going to transpire. So these are like getting mini readings based on your moon sign astrological charts. And then follow the prompts. Again, the link is below. Download it, print it out, or use your iPad or whatever, and meditate on what's coming. And also use your own intuition. What do you see when the cards come out, you know? And we're going to be reviewing this, and this journey is for us all. So here we go. Don't want to move the table, and I usually slam these things on the table. Where do I put this? Let's put this over here. All right. First card up is the King of Wands, and this is for the Aries. So Aries, I'm going to say this. You're all about the I am, right? So you're all about the experience of who am I? What's my identity? What am I emerging into? So from an emotional perspective, you want to check that fiery aspect of you. Clearly, you are in the space of workaholic. You're doing something, emotionally engaging in something that is all about your identity, into this new moon. So for you, this is what's coming up. What a beautiful card. Whatever you are working on to assist with your identity, it's massive, and it's also very passionate. Very passionate. Let me, the reason why I paused before, and already I'm moving the camera, was because I was going to say, let's shuffle these two for the whole group. It's a little harder to shuffle my cards, but we can do it. And let's see what the higher octave is and what we need to concentrate on in order to really tap into our feeling nature with that Aries moon. The Aries moon. Here we go. Ah, you got two, and I'll keep the two. You know what I mean? When these things happen, you just got to go with the flow. So special for Aries. So we've got two major arcanas that just appeared for you. So whatever you're working on, you're making some choices here that really is going to start molding. And look at that. You got the World card, the Victory card. That's really going to start molding the emergence of this identity that you have going for this 2024 cycle. Beautiful. So this is a Lover's card. You're going to be making choices about your creative activity, what you are literally putting out in the world, your new image that you want other people to see. And this is all going to be quite victorious for you. So what emotions can you tap into in order to have these being fulfilled for you? So clearly for you, the World card, because it came out, is something that we want to pay attention to in this new moon cycle. I don't know if I'm going to have enough space to put it all on the board, but I'll try. There you go. Next person up is whoever has moon in Taurus. Beautiful. Seven of Pentacles. Very beautiful. This is all about what you have, your possessions, right? Look at that. Even holding the apple. What I have, what are the values that I want to really tap into to assist me with my emotional state? What values can I bring forth? And when we're looking at the Seven of Pentacles, it's really having faith here in the understanding that what you possess is already prepared. It's already there. It's already given, right? So this is this whole idea of nature being around you, looking at nature, feeling into nature. And let's see what your card here. And the Hierophant, right? The Seeker. So what aspect of your own tradition can you rely on in order to fundamentally feel this level of abundance of what you have in your personal wealth, right? Beautiful. Ah, these are so cool. All right, we're gonna have to, like I said, do an overshot view of this, because for me it's gonna look awesome. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and upload it for everyone. And the Gemini, we've got the Eight of Swords here. So you guys are all about this thinking. Like, what am I thinking? Where's my headspace at? And the Knight of Swords is all about wanting to walk away from something, wanting to fly away. So for me, oh, and by the way, I'm just going to go back a little bit here. For the Taurus, I'm tapping into the Devil archetype here because this is about possessions, right? So we really want to see how these two are engaging, how these cards are engaging with that archetype of the Devil in the new moon cycle, which is about, for you, could be about releasing and feeling freedom and not having this need for possession. Whereas, again, the Knight of Swords, because we are wanting to run away, we're wanting to leave, we're wanting to re-engage with something else, that Devil archetype also comes into play here. And this is the Stargazer. So the Stargazer is already telling you Look at this. For the people with moons and Geminis, it's really just guiding you and telling you it's okay. Look how light the process is going to be. It's okay. It's almost like put your sword down, fly, dream, go ahead and dream, stargaze, right? That's how you're going to acquire your freedom, the freedom that you're craving. Now we're moving into the energy of Cancer. Now for you guys, it is always been about feeling. But when I see the Ace of Swords, you're wanting to expand. So for me, the World Tarot card is really speaking to me because you're wanting to expand with a new idea, a new way forward. And look at that, of course. I was pulling into the world, and you get the accomplishments card, right? So you're looking for a new idea to create. You've accomplished something already in the past, and this is the World card, which signifies accomplishments. So you're getting confirmation about that. So for you, tap into that feeling of what does it mean for you to accomplish something in order for you to move forward with this new idea? What is that feeling like? The next energy is people with their moons in Leo. This is the Seven of Swords cards. And I'm being drawn to this possession, so I'm going to go to this Devil archetype, right? This possession has come up twice here so far in the readings, but there's something about nurturing here. So for you to feel the freedom that you're craving, right? Because for you, the Leos are all about creativity. It's actually about the joy of being creative. So for you to feel that space of freedom, you're really being called to nurture what you are creating. Look at that. And you get the star vibration. So you're getting all this blessings and confirmations. What is that, what does it mean to nurture what you've created? And then, and only then, you're going to find this freedom and this release from possessions. Beautiful. Don't you just love those cards? Next up, we have the Virgo energy. So people with new moons, not new moons, their moons in Virgo. You've got the Eight of Pentacles. Now you're all about analysis, right? You're all about analyzing. And for me, the energy that, the energy that just came flying was the fact that the butterfly's not flying. She's not allowed to. You're holding on too tightly to things. You're controlling too much. So I'm being called here to the Devil archetype. We're controlling something too much, and it's just not, it's not really allowing you to have that inner healthy sort of, I wanted to say inner healthy boundary, and maybe that is what it didn't make any sense to me when I was trying to say the words, but you're the type of energy that emotionally you don't even take care of your emotional needs. You take care of the needs of everybody else first. And so you're getting this guidance to be quite sharp with the letting go. Don't think about things. Don't dwell on things too much. You've got this beautiful butterfly energy that just wants to fly. And you're thinking, is it, true to the feeling nature of people with moons in Virgo? Is it perfect enough? Will people judge me for it? So you want to control your mind and not be in the space of judging your beautiful work and who you are, which is, again, beautiful. Only you can see the details. So that's Virgo. The next card up is people that have, I know you can't see the entire wheel, but maybe you can see the iconographies of the cards. So we've got the moon in Libra. So we've got King of Swords energy here. So the King of Swords here doesn't feel restrictive, doesn't feel like she's fighting, doesn't feel, it actually looks like she's, moving forward with some illumination, some idea, something that's really been divinely divinely provided. So I'm being drawn here to the World Tarot card because there's an expansive energy to this. And one of the things with the people with the moon in Libra is that for you, it's all about relationships, right? It's all about relationships. So whatever it is that you are tapping into, it's to help you expand your circle of friends or something. There are some unlocking of secrets with this engagement, right? So whatever illumination is coming down, you're really going to unwind and reveal things that are needed, certainly with relationships and your relationship with the world and others. Awesome. So that's, I'm gonna start, I don't wanna cut, I'll put it there. The next is people with moons in Scorpio. You've got the Two of Pentacles. So there's, again, for me, it's an agreement. It's the World card. There's maybe a deal or an agreement of some sort that can bring you money. This is about your desires, right? So your emotional state is about your desires. What can you do, or how can you tap into your emotions to really start thinking about the foundations of something new? A new business plan, a new beginning, a new agreement to help you expand your world. And from the Arkansas Tarot card, it's creativity, right? So we want to be as loose as possible when it comes to our understanding of our relationships and our desires with other people, money and resources. We want to be creative, but there's form here. This is the Four of Wands. So there's form, there's structure, there's organization that's needed here. And this is, again, drawing me to the World card for you. People with moon in Sagittarius. We've got the Six of Cups energy. Oof, you guys, the moon in Sag people tend to be a little bit aloof in my experience, but it's also because you want to understand, right? And there is this desire to understand relationships from a distance, and also relationships from this higher mind is what I feel. But there's a little, it came with a little bit of judgment. See how she's kind of looking down at the people that are really, oh, I moved the camera again, sorry. Really in flow, people that are really just in celebration, but there's a looking down. So I would say this, I'm being drawn to the Devil archetype here. There's a need for you to start nurturing yourself because you're the one that's going to be left out of the party, right? And yeah, partake in life. Look at that. I didn't even, yeah, it's like you're really, your energy, your emotional state is to take part of life. Be in communion with others. Be in the celebratory mode. And I see this 4 engagement here, and there's 4 here. So really feeling safe with your emotions. It's okay. And the more safe you feel with your emotions, the more you'll feel this level of freedom and not feeling mentally chained. Next up, we have, this is your, oh, look at that. You get the Two of Cups, which is the cover of the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And I love, this is the card that I loved so much because it really drew me in. And this is your moon. This is your moon. So with the Two of Cups, it's really about sharing your emotions, sharing your feelings. Look how beautifully it's intertwined. So you can use the potentiality of your recognition with another in order to really tap into, and this is drawing me to the World card, to really tap into a new beginning with other. How gorgeous is that? And look at that, right? You're really feeling grounded. This is earth energy, which is what you are. This is like about you, Two of Cups, being in an emotion, a new emotional connection with someone or relationship with others that makes you feel quite grounded. So that's a beautiful energy, and that feeling into that is going to allow you to really tap into the world and be in the space of expansion. We've got, next up, we've got the people with the moon in Aquarius. Already, what are we doing? We're playing chess. Ooh, we're over here. We are over here because this feeling of knowing, like I know and you don't. I can make the next move and I'm gonna beat you at this game, right? So this emotional state of playing games with others is what we need to check in order to feel completely free to journey forward in life. So looking at your companions, looking at your global community, how are you relating to the global community? How are you relating to those around you, right? This is the Five of Wands card. Aren't these gorgeous? And this is profound, you know, envisioned wisdom. So immediately what I'm thinking is workaholic. There's their emotional energy of workaholism is keeping you trapped, and you're not even paying attention to whatever may be beyond this, right? So that's what we want to work on in this new moon in Capricorn window until we get to that full moon. Beautiful. I just love these. I'm going to say it until I'm nauseated by these cards. And then lastly, we have this energy of people with the moon in Pisces. And the moon in Pisces is all about belief, right? It's about the journey. It's about mystical experiences. And so when we have the Three of Pentacles, it's literally about look at that. It's literally about creating magic in communication. So this is directing my eyes to the World card because it feels expansive to me. What is she doing there? Oh, beautiful. She's directing the communication. Lovely. So it feels expansive to me. So that's, you know, for you, that's sort of the focus in this new year. Yeah, and charge forward. Whatever it is that you're working on with the Three of Pentacles, it feels out of this world. I'm being drawn to the Seven, so it feels out of this world. Obviously, you are the moon in Pisces. So it feels that faith and belief is very much intertwined with communication. And you have to move forward with confidence, right? Like even standing, I feel like even her standing on this leaf, she's got to be very careful, right? Because it feels like, wow, could she slip? But she's incredibly confident. Like she's not even thinking about that. That's the guidance that you're being given. Be confident about what it is that you are creating. And this is creation in the monetary sense because we've got the Pentacles, or even paying attention to your body of work, right? Your body of work. Well, guys, that's it. We are at 29 minutes, a lot longer than what I thought. But again, what I want you to do with these cards and the readings, write down the cards that you got, tap into your own intuition, pause the video, look at the images, see what else you can extrapolate from that. See where you fell within these two dominant cards that are really predicting what's the energy of what's happening. By the way, for those that I'm not doing global global readings here, but I can tell you what something major will be happening from now until the next moon, and there's going to be this illumination on something that either has to do with a sex scandal or an engagement that breaks free. I also see victory here. So there's several wars going on around the world. There's potentiality for victory to be expressed with this new moon crescendo that's happening. So for those of you that are into global predictions, this is the energy coming up from now until that full moon. So let's also pay attention to that and see how that plays if you're interested. But again, this video is not for that. I digress. What you want to see is where you landed in either of those and really tap into the guidance that's given from the cards and try to answer those journal prompts as honestly as possible, and then start paying attention. So yeah, you might want to get another journal to do little daily entries on what's transpiring for you, or you could just refresh and relook and reactivate what you've already written from the journal entry regarding this video. All right, thank you so much. This is going to be so much fun. This is my offering. If I were to teach a course, I would do it in regarding the moon and tarot. I would do it in this kind of an engagement. So you can consider this a course from now for an entire year for free. And again, my plan is to do 2 videos a month, one for the new moon and one for the full moon. And of course, on those months where we have eclipses, I'll do an extra video on that, or a longer video. I don't know. I have no idea. I am just starting this. I have no business starting this with the amount of projects and work that I do have, but I really wanted to share this with you because for me personally, there is something magical that's going to happen as we dance with the moon. All right, take care. Bye.